Coach, you end the regular season with a 5-0 win at UMass Lowell. Your thoughts on the team's performance today?
I thought Allie looked amazing. I thought today was probably one of her best performances in terms of just command of the zone, command of her changeup, and then just mixing levels with her drop ball. Kate Coker, I mean, she was just dialed in. I think for her offensively right now, I mean, she's obviously hot and seeing the ball really well, but she's making things happen, which is amazing. I was happy in the first couple innings. I thought that we were really patient and disciplined, and their pitcher was having a hard time finding the strike zone, and we were capitalizing on walks, and then also obviously on timely hits there. And then once Riley White came in, I thought she did a really great job of kind of shutting us down and quieting us up. So I'm glad that we obviously got to push some runs early, but I would have liked to score throughout the game. But obviously, I think with Allie's dominance staying in the circle, I think that we knew that 5 was pretty tough to come back from.
Right. And then as a coach, obviously this is the last opportunity to really have a game before the Patriot League tournament. I mean, overall, what do you think the team gets out of a win like today's?
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, like our focus going into it was just to be playoff ready, right? To be dialed in, to have focus every single pitch, and to play cleanly, to kind of own it. And I thought that we had a lot of people kind of in that mix. I think they know we need to get better. We had a really tough practice yesterday, and we're just kind of drilling in them defensive stuff, and it's more about making plays and being consistent. And I think that they know that they're good, but however, they're not at the point right now where they can be perfect in a game. And I understand that that's difficult, but at the same time, I think for us that we give people more opportunities than we should, and now have playing these teams 4 times. That's not ideal, right? So you figure if Allie's on the mound, she's seeing these kids. I mean, some of them she has 3 wins against. So for us, we have to do a good job of shutting them down. It needs to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If there's a hit here and there, fine, but we don't need to walk in. We don't need to put anyone with errors. And that was a focus going into today. How can we play clean? How can we own that? And I think we had 1 walk. No errors, which was great. Not a lot of balls were put in play. But to me, like that's a good sign. There's a little bit more ownership, and that's what I kind of like to see, obviously, going into the tournament.
Right. In terms of the at-bats, obviously you talked about Coker, but for Laurinette to get that 2 RBI single, I know that's something you want to see toward the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like right now Gant and Coker seem to be dialed in. I thought AJ had some good balls today. Nothing dropped for her, but I thought that she was swinging a pretty good bat. But yeah, I mean, when we get through like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 9, right, needs to produce. And I feel like at different points of the year, they've actually carried us. So, paying attention to like kind of the book earlier in some of these series, it was the end of the lineup that was kind of owning this. And that's the part where you love to see that. Now the top of the lineup, I feel like the top of the lineup, they did nothing against Army. Lehigh was only 2 games, obviously, for us. And then, looking at like Colgate or whatever. I mean, I just feel like we weren't necessarily 1 through 9 on, and the bottom lineup was kind of holding us down. But now I feel like the top's turning it on. So I just need the bottom to kind of stay with it. But yeah, it's a good offensive team if we're swinging the bat and swinging at good pitches. The second that we get out of our, kind of out of our zone, or just like basically mentally out of our heads, you know what I mean? Like we get in trouble. So, I was happy with today. I thought we had some good at bats. We had a few strikeout lookings, which I didn't love. I think that was probably the most we've had the entire year. But sometimes I have to give credit. I actually think that their second pitcher, who's probably their number 1, did a really good job coming in.
Right. And now you look toward the Patriot League tournament. I mean, it was a historic regular season. I mean, what do you think the team's mindset is right now? Do you have any fears of that regular season record kind of either making them fearful of running into mistakes in the tournament, or making them too overconfident?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that we need to look at as soon as you move to postseason, it's a new season, right? So the way we're looking at it is great. We got to play these people, we got to, win some games, but it's over. The regular season's behind us. No one cares anymore. The second you get into the tournament, it's anyone's game. It's anyone has a shot. So you need to look at it as there's 4 teams in there. 1 is going to come out. Right. And it's not about the previous record. It's about what you do come Thursday. So they know that. And I think they're looking forward to just like, hey, we got to compete. We have to win every game. It's the same motto we had the entire year. Right. It was win every game, win every pitch, win every series. Like that was the idea of it. It's going to be the same approach once we get to the tournament. They know that they can't drop one. Their job is to win every single game. And, hopefully that puts us out on top. But you know what? I mean, I've gone into the tournament at different seeds, and been successful. So if you make it, you get a shot.
Right. And then the team has never won 3 straight titles, tournament titles before. And as a coach, how do you feel with this year's team compared to the other two teams in 2018-19?
It's interesting. I think this year has just been really unique and different as is. I think the hard part is we haven't had this long extended preseason to kind of work through the kinks. I think that we have worked through the kinks as we've gone through conference. There hasn't been enough room for change or chances, right? It's been very minimal based on you got to find what wins and stick with it. And I think that's probably been the most difficult part. And I think looking at it now, I think we're coming into our own and we're finding out who we are, and we're finding ways to be resilient and fight and win. But at the same time, I mean, the experience has been a first for many, right? First conference game, first time here, first time. And it's interesting. There's 10 underclassmen who are experiencing this. So you look at it, there is some really great leadership in key positions, obviously with Allie on the mound. You have Gant, who's obviously been in the mix before. You have Marina, who's been in the mix before. You have Nicole at first base. There's some veteran experience, which is great. But on the other end of that, there's also some really young kids that they're going to be feeling this for the first time. So, you hope that they can control the nerves and approach it just like a regular game.
Right. Well, congrats on the win, and thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thanks, Scotty.